Hello and welcome to the big picture. As the Parliament logjam continues over the CAG report on coal allocations, demand for cancellation of all the coal blocks granted to private players during the UPA regime has gained momentum. The government's own interministerial group is also looking at the option, while the CBI is investigating these allocations and is expected to file an FIR soon, against those companies which are seen as having given false information to gain the coal blocks. Meanwhile, another set of voices feel that cancellation of the coal blocks is not necessary, as it would send a wrong signal to the investors and affect the investment climate. Amid all this, the opposition BJP is adamant that unless the coal allocations are cancelled and a judicial inquiry ordered, it won't allow the parliament to function. However, Finance Minister P. Chidambaram has today rejected the demand for cancellations until the interministerial group recommendations are received. But today, we will see if the cancellation of the coal block allocations is the best option. What would be the implication of these cancellations? What will happen to the companies which raise thousands of crores in equities and loan to finance new projects for power, cement and steel if they are cancelled? What will happen to these projects? There are a whole lot of questions which are begging answers. We will discuss all this today while looking at all the implications of the cancellation of coal block allocations if it happens. To discuss this, I have with me today Prakash Javadekar, the BJP spokesman, Bhartruhari Mahtab, the BJD MP from Orissa, and Priya Ranjan Dash, managing editor at Financial Chronicle. Welcome to all of you. Let me first go to Mr. Prakash Javadekar. Mr. Javadekar, see, your party is demanding that all these allocations should be cancelled. Is this cancellation demand only for those allocations which have been made after the UPA has come to power?
See, it is a benchmark is when the government decided to auction the coal blocks. They decided to auction and did not auction.
Okay.
That is where the scam happened.
Okay.
Because then there was a black gold rush.
Right.
To pocket the coal blocks without real intentions of going into production and book the future profits. See how the companies who have sold themselves, like in 2G, they have earned huge profit. Their share of ₹10 has been sold at ₹3,000. Can you imagine the profits? So when this type of crony capitalism is happening, it was a big scam.
So,
how can you allow scam and unethical things to continue? So after all, if you don't cancel it now, you will be forced by the Supreme Court to cancel it like 2G.
Okay.
So instead of happening that and waiting for that and losing the time, you can right now cancel and auction in next 4 months. And you will gain the funds also for the state and central developments. And at the same time, you can be a transparent.
Mr. Javadekar,
yeah,
you are saying that the benchmark is when the government decided to auction, which was sometime in 2006, I think.
6, yes.
Okay,
they prepared the bill.
They prepared the bill, and then it took its own time to go around and all that. So you are saying that only after that whatever was done is crony capitalism. What happened before that is not crony capitalism.
Because that time Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister in 1993.
Because I think 32 blocks were allocated, if I am not wrong, during the NDA regime also.
No, but earlier Congress regime under Narasimha Rao, though Congress wants to forget, also allocated the block, but there was no controversy during Narasimha Rao's period or even NDA period, because it was given to the existing factories and those who are those who have the plans sanctioned for their coal means power generation or the steel generation, steel production and cement production.
Captive coal blocks.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are saying that these 32 or 34 allocations which were done during the NDA regime are blemishless?
Yeah.
You are saying they are blemishless.
And if you find anything wrong, we have already said that wrong is wrong. So that the government of the day has the right to cancel it. See, Atalji did it. Atalji did two things fantastic, you will recollect. There was auction which had already taken place on the spectrum. But when he realized that the whole
there was a lot of
mobile industry, 1 minute, when the mobile industry in infancy will die, he took all parties into confidence and he ensured a switch over to revenue model in a nice fashion. There was no objection.
No, there were a lot of objections.
No, anyway, but that is how
there
you
were a lot of objections. It continues to be it continues to be a matter of controversy. Anyway, we'll keep the 2G aside as of now. Let me come to Priya Ranjan Dash. Priya Ranjan, the argument of Mr. Javadekar that the benchmark is when the government decided that they should go in, that is the process began. You think that kind of a benchmark is valid?
No, I think what is said as the benchmark for the allocations done during the NDA regime.
Yes.
That's a fair benchmark that he himself suggested.
Right.
That if you find anything wrong with those allocations, then they should be cancelled.
Right.
So I don't think there is any problem with that.
Yes.
The problem is that while Mr. Javadekar has concluded that there indeed are all these other allocations which have been done after 2006, they are all wrong and therefore they should be cancelled. That may not stand to any scrutiny,
judicial
reasonable, objective scrutiny. It could be a political point. So unless you find actual malafide in allocating any of those blocks,
absolutely,
you cannot just do a blanket.
Actually,
and just to get back to that 2G point,
yes,
you know, the 2G cancellations were done by the court,
right,
after a CBI inquiry,
absolutely,
found things wrong with those allocations,
right,
those spectrum allocations,
right.
So we need a similar benchmark.
We need a similar. We need the point. I think what Dash is making is that, you know, just wait. The CBI is investigating. Just wait for it to say something. And also, anyway, today, interestingly, the Finance Minister Chidambaram has said, while rejecting your demand, Mr. Javadekar, he has said that, you know, we'll have to wait for the interministerial group to come out with its recommendation, which is expected by September 15. Anyway, let me bring Mr. Bhartruhari Mahtab into this. Mr. Mahtab, do you agree with Mr. Javadekkar's argument about, you know, why they are making such a big issue out of this? Because they think that the day government decided that they should go in for bidding, that is their benchmark, and after that, whatever has happened is crony capitalism, and not before that.
No, that's a way of interpreting the situation which Mr. Javadekar is doing.
And you think it's a political interpretation?
I would say that is his interpretation or his party's interpretation. I don't know what Chhattisgarh Chief Minister would say or what Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister would say.
Right. Or Jharkhand.
But most of the coal-bearing states,
right,
they have a specific interest to protect their state's interest.
Yes.
So in that respect, in 2005, when the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister office convened a meeting and circulated this idea of competitive bidding,
right,
most of the states had objected to it, including Rajasthan.
Absolutely.
And because lignite also was a part of it with coal.
Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh,
and
Jharkhand.
So that's what I said. I mentioned about Rajasthan.
Maharashtra.
Andhra Pradesh, yes. Maharashtra and Orissa, from where you also come from.
Yes. So what I'm driving at is, when you are going in for competitive bidding, how you are going to protect the interest of those states? Because the process in which after nationalization of 1973, a system was built. After the provision that was changed in 1993,
yes,
a new system came into existence where the private players came into the mining of coal and
right,
lignite.
Right.
So in that respect, In 2005, when this competitive bidding came into existence, that instead of selecting certain companies which can come, if this provision of competitive bidding will come, the center government can get more revenue.
Yes.
But our question was, how you are going to share that revenue with the states?
Absolutely.
What will be the role of the state government in this competitive bidding? And how the state government or the state, those mineral bearing state or the coal bearing state, will benefit from this competitive bidding? That was not spelled out.
Yes.
Even today, after 2010, the bill was adopted and became a law in last February 2012. That has not been spelled out. There is a clear silence on that respect, and we have our own doubts. That's why repeatedly our Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, has been writing to the Prime Minister and to the Coal Minister in 2010, in 2011, in 2012, that you spell out how our state interest will be protected.
Okay. Mr. Javadekar, you want to react to this?
The state interest can be protected, and that is what Raman Singh and Shivraj Singh Chauhan and our Chief Ministers were saying. They actually never opposed in a way that you don't do it. They said, if you are doing it,
yes,
if you are going ahead with the competitive bidding, then part of the collected amount through auction must be given to the state for its development.
Yes.
And part of the coal
This has not
in
been
coal
accepted
bearing
by the
state.
center.
It's not been accepted.
No, that is what I am telling. But the coal bearing states should get part of the coal also at the CIL rate, so that their power needs can be addressed to. What is rank in it? But as Bhartruhari is saying, center what it did not actually adhere the federal principles. They wanted the sword of auction hanging and allot the blocks because they wanted to pocket the profit for the party and for the people.
Mr. Javadekar.
And now you see the list of the people whom they are allotted and who has
Mr.
sold.
Javadekar,
why they sold their companies.
Mr. Javadekar, I want you to, I just want to read one paragraph of the letter which Raman Singh government
I will also read one paragraph.
Yes, I'm reading this paragraph. The Chhattisgarh Chief Secretary wrote to the
you read only Raman Singh letter. Secretary, Chief Secretary is the bureaucrat. The Chief Minister is the political leader.
No.
You read his letter, which is after that.
Mr. Javadekar, are you disassociating the Chief Secretary of Chhattisgarh from the Chhattisgarh government? Are you trying to say you think Chhattisgarh Chief Secretary can write something which the government...
Because the subsequent letter of the CM, which has said clearly that center want to go ahead with that, then give us our share of coal and the money collected through auction.
So you are saying that the Chief Minister overruled the Chief Secretary later?
Yes, that is his right.
Okay, I will not argue with you on this, but let me come to Priya Ranjan. Priya Ranjan, see, now we have had these arguments, we have had enough of these arguments. Now the question is, if these coal block allocations are cancelled, what will be the implications? One, what will be the implications on the investment climate?
Well, if it is arbitrarily cancelled,
yes,
arbitrary quote unquote, then surely it will be a severe blow to the investment climate.
What is arbitrary cancellation according to you?
You know, if the
demand of the BJP,
like we said,
yes,
that if there is anything wrong, allocation has been nullified, it is proven, it is investigated, taken to a court of law, and the court makes a determination that yes, these allocations were nullified,
yes,
and have to be cancelled, then of course it will be cancelled.
Yes.
Otherwise, at this point of time, the fact remains that whether it was in '93 by the Narasimha Rao government, or by the India government, or by the UPA government subsequently, all the allocations have been done as per stated government policy.
Absolutely. Mr. Mahtab, I think Priya Ranjan has a very
yes,
significant point today. See, now the demand for cancellation, how is it going to stand a judicial scrutiny? Because all these has been done according to the policies of the government of the day.
Now, Mr. Priya Ranjan has vast experience in journalism.
Yes.
I would only
and you both come
here,
and you both come from the same state.
Executive also has a power to review. Yes, yes. I would only reiterate here that the executive has ample power to review whatever decisions they had taken earlier. Because I'll give you one instance.
Yes.
Chhattisgarh has coal fields.
Right.
But Chhattisgarh government or one PSU of Chhattisgarh has been allotted coal blocks in Odisha along with one private company. And this was not recommended by Odisha government.
Yes.
How was this done? If Chhattisgarh was interested with coal blocks,
yes,
then they could have given certain coal blocks in Chhattisgarh itself.
Yes.
Similarly, there were number of PSUs which were allotted coal blocks in Odisha.
Yes.
And they were supposed to mine coal in Odisha and sell it with some other companies which were setting up thermal power plants.
Okay.
How would it help Odisha government? So repeatedly, our government and even Chief Minister has written to the Prime Minister, these need to be reviewed. It doesn't help the policy which was framed in 2004 or 2005 and subsequently by the law that was amended in 2010.
Mr. Mahtab, let me
Yes.
get a clarification on this. Are you saying that though the policy was to give coal blocks to those who were going to set up either steel or cement or power plants, that is, instead of that, it was given to somebody else to
value addition. That is
value addition. That's value addition. So is that an argument?
Yes, yes. Our only call, repeatedly we have been saying, any industry which is coming to Odisha, because within last some years, more than 3 lakh crores of rupees of investment that MOUs have been signed with Odisha government. Onus lies with us, and also we have to pursue that those industries fructify and set up their industries in Odisha. And for that they need captive mines, coal mines and other mines where they can do value addition in Odisha, which will lead to employment and also revenue earning in the state.
Okay.
That is why repeatedly Odisha has been saying,
Mr.
government
Javadekar,
has been saying that our first priority should be, our first priority would be that allow these Odisha Mining Corporation, which is the largest PSU of any state in the country, which has expertise in mining, let Odisha Mining Corporation be provided
Mr. Mahtab,
with these coal blocks, and that can also provide coal to other
Mr. Mahtab,
yeah.
Let me get Mr. Javadekar in on this.
Girish,
yes.
Actually, center could have taken cue from some of the state governments like Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, who have devised a nice way to deal with this issue. They were allocated coal blocks for their power utilities by the central government. How do they go ahead with that? They formed the JV with 51% retaining with the state government, so the ownership lies with the state government, and operating cost is zero because operator is operating, and he shares the profit in 51-49 ratio, and with a 300 million ton of coal reserves, one mine, Madhya Pradesh is now getting, without any expenditure, 900 crore rupees per year, and this will continue for 30 years from one single mine. If this would have been the formula even of the central government, everybody would have welcomed it.
No, let me, Priya Ranjan, no, you think this is something which is valid, because he's making it look very simple.
Two points essentially I want to make. Mr. Mahtab is right that the executive can review it.
Yes.
The executive can review it subject to the scheme of things.
Yes.
So if, for instance, the executive is already reviewing it. The 90 coal blocks.
Right.
Because whether they have made the progress as per the rules that were laid down in allocating those blocks to them. If they have wantonly not made progress, they render themselves liable to be cancelled.
About 60 blocks of private players, that's the report which are coming in.
So there is one set of issues that Mr. Javadekar is raising with regard to the refinement of the policy.
Right.
Whether the policy could have been something like this, whether the government could have retained a majority stake for instance. You know, those are conditions, terms and conditions about the policy under which the allocation have not been made, number one. Number two, what Mr. Mahtab is saying, if the process of screening committee, for instance, which if that process was vitiated, you know, in terms of the points that he is making, that a certain state which was supposed to get or retain the block for itself was not allowed to retain it, rather it was given to a power generating unit which was coming up in another state. Now, if that kind of a thing has happened, because the screening committee was supposed to have been a collective decision with the representative of the state governments at a fairly senior level. Now, if the screening committee process itself has been vitiated, then of course that also lends itself to review and to see whether it's actually been vitiated. In that case, those allocations would also be liable to be cancelled. But you need transparent benchmark to cancel them. You cannot do it, you know, just arbitrarily.
Just because the opposition party is demanding it. Okay, I need to go into a very short break. Please stay on, all of you. I'll come back. Please keep watching. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back. We are looking at the implications if the coal block allotments are cancelled. Let me come to Mr. Javadekar. Mr. Javadekar, my question now is about the implications. You are saying that cancel all these 142 licenses because, you know, you have given your reasons why it needs to be cancelled. But what will be the implications of it? What will happen? What do you think will happen to those projects which have been planned by using these coal blocks, especially in the power sector and also in the cement and steel sector? Don't you think that it will have some adverse repercussions?
What happened to the spectrum? People had planned, people had obtained loan, but the court ordered cancellation and now the auction is happening. I think there is a balance always and things will come to the right people who really want to produce. But how can you allow somebody to pocket the coal block just for the sake of profit without real commitment and intention to produce? So, those who are real players will get it, will stand the scrutiny of the auction, and there be a fair play, because I don't see that's a big problem. Well, on the other hand, you can do this within next 6 months and actually start things moving in the right spirit.
Mr. Javadekar, you're repeatedly going back to the 2G spectrum, but there is a clear difference between what was found in 2G and what has been found so far here in this case. One big thing is that, you know, the CBI or any investigating body is yet to find any wrongdoing in this.
Who said?
No kickbacks.
Has CBI said it?
No. That's what I'm saying. They have not yet found. That's what I'm saying.
No, but has CBI said it that they have not found?
No. They'll file an FIR. There's a certain process.
So we don't know.
So you
why
don't
we
want
are
to
concluding?
Wait. No, you don't want to. I am not concluding anything.
CBI.
I am saying that why can't you wait for the CBI to, carry on with its process, come to a certain stage, say that, this is what has happened, and then you can, but you expect the government to cancel licenses without any proof. And what will be the credibility of a government? Today it is UPA government, tomorrow it may be your government. How are you going to deal with this kind of situation?
See, simple answer is, if you are not ready to be wiser in the right time, then you will have both lose the time and reach the same destination with the same results.
Let me get Mr. Mahtab. Mr. Mahtab, do you agree with Mr. Javadekkar's argument?
No, I have a point of view here.
Yes.
The executive means the central government.
Yes.
or the inter-ministerial group, which is actually reviewing this, and I was told that today they had a meeting, and by 15th of this month they are going to give their report to the government. My suggestion is, when the inter-ministerial group is reviewing all the allocations, or some of the allocations, the concerned state government officer also should be a party to that. And along with that, the view of the state government, concerned state government, where that block was allotted with the consent of, with the recommendation of the state or without the recommendation of the state, should have a say in it. Otherwise, otherwise you are allocating certain coal blocks and you are deciding in favor or deciding against it, keeping the state government in the dark. This is one. And without their representation, without taking them into confidence, because state governments have a stake. Say for instance in Odisha, those allocations that have been made covers around 325 square kilometers of the area, which will displace more than 2 lakh of people. And that is a Herculean task on the part of the state government. And you are sitting in Delhi and taking a decision like this without taking the state government into confidence. I don't know what's the position in Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh or other states, but I'm talking about my state. This is the position. And yet you are not consulting the state government at all. You are not supporting the state government's interest. So how this is going to happen? And once you are going to take a decision on this, state government should be taken into confidence. There should be a party to the decision when you are reviewing this coal blocks.
Mr. Mahtab, we are running out of time, but my short question to you is, if these coal blocks which have been allocated are cancelled as demanded by the BJP, as demanded by some other people, do you think that there will be, what will be the kind of implications?
I would say case by case basis. I would say by case basis this should be reviewed. It should not, there should not be a blanket cancellation of the allocations. And when you are reviewing case by case basis, the state government should be a party to those decisions. Should be consulted.
Priya Ranjan, lastly, one of the allegations which are being made is that some companies have made these windfall profits after they've got a coal block allocated. Do you think that allegation holds water?
No. The allegation is not that they have made windfall profit. The allegation is that the market capitalization
has gone up
of certain companies.
Some companies are supposed to have sold them also.
Yes, companies which were allotted, some of the companies which were allotted coal block, because they had this right, their market capitalization went up, and in the process, some of the promoters are supposed to have diluted part of their stake at that high market price, and thereby they have gained.
They've gained. So, but apparently there was no condition that they couldn't do it.
No, there was no condition that they couldn't do it. In fact, going back to the 2G thing, 2G, you had at least a lock-in period.
Absolutely. There was no lock-in period in this.
Here, there was no lock-in period.
So, Mr. Javadekar, so this is another issue, that when you say, or somebody says that some people have made a lot of profits, there were no conditions, there was no lock-in period. Some people have made good money out of it.
If you keep faulty system alive and now take rescue, means you want to hide behind that system. I am sorry, I cannot agree with that. Nation is not ready to agree.
Okay. We have completely run out of time. Thank you very much. This is a debate which will continue for some more time. It is not something which can be decided in half an hour, but we will keep a close watch on the developments. Thanks to all my guests. Thank you, Mr. Javadekar, Mr. Bhartruhari, Mahtab, and Priya Ranjan Dash. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue on the big picture same time tomorrow.